Hi guys, come with the marketing team and I to Ghana for a work trip. So here I was just picking up one of my colleagues, Emmanuel. He's saying hi to the camera, and then we headed out to the international airport to meet our other colleagues. Some members of the team were already there, but this was when Femi, aka Prince Dynamic, arrived, and he was pretending to not know us, but obviously that didn't work out for him. So this was when everyone had arrived and we headed into the airport to check in. Some team members had gone ahead of us, so they probably won't be showing, but this was after we checked in. We were heading to start the boarding process and all of that stuff. I don't know what standing posture that was, but let's just ignore it. So this is Mr. Benga. He's the marketing team lead. You get to see his face in future clips. But yeah, we were done with the boarding process and we were heading to the bus that will take us to the plane. This was when we arrived and Prince Dynamic did not want Ibom to show. I don't know the beef they have, but yeah, we were just waiting for everyone to enter the plane, and we're taking some last minute pictures and phone calls as well before we headed into the plane.
Femi in front.
And yeah, this was when we were in the plane flying to Ghana. Yeah, this is Jegs, our community manager. And this was what they served us, the snacks. It was okay, I guess. And this was when we landed Ghana, Accra, Mahachi, Ghana. So this was when we arrived Ghana, and we're just saying the whole Samuel Banks arrival stuff. But yeah, we were heading to get our bags here, and yeah, when we got our bags, Prince was ranting about Nigeria followed him here because he wanted to put his bag on his head. But yeah, Kwaba, this was Mr. Gwenga and Emmanuel getting our stuff out, and yeah, we headed to where we're going to stay for the night, and we're just taking in the city. The city was actually very peaceful. But yeah, we ended the day with some Ghana jollof. I'm not going to make any comments for now before they drag me. What am I saying? Hi guys, welcome to day one in Ghana. We basically just met up with our Ghanaian representative, and then we went out to Hit FM for an interview, and we basically called it a night. It was a very quick day. You can catch the highlights on our Instagram page. We don't need to put it here again. Go and watch our highlights. But yeah, we're just taking in the scenery from the rooftop of our hotel, and then we called it a night. This was the next morning. We quickly got up and then we took a walk to check out the area. This is Femi and I on our way to join the other team members for the walk. This was what the area looks like. It was actually very quiet and peaceful, and it was just very beautiful to look at. But yeah, we fed our eyes and we had to rush back because it was literally time for our event. This was literally me running with some of our merch that we almost forgot. And then we got to the venue and we're just showing you guys what the outside of the venue looks like. And then we headed in to look for our booth here. Mr. Gwenga was telling us where the booth stand was because they had gotten there before us. We located our stand and we immediately began to set up. We met up with all our BAs, gave them the merch they needed to be putting on. So yeah, that was Prince Dynamic fighting me for some CDs because we finally got our hands on CDs. But yeah, my assignment for the day was to be the camera woman. So that was me taking some pictures, and then our celebrity guests arrived. So we started shooting some content with them, took pictures, and then we also had conversations with the attendees of the event. We basically told them about the problem that we're trying to solve, and many of them were very interested and excited about the opportunity that we're bringing to Ghana. So if you're a Ghanaian, make sure you download the Apex app. You can visit app.apexnetwork.co to get started. But yeah, it was almost time for the game year, and they were giving out some prizes, courtesy the Apex brand and some other vendors that attended the event as well. But yeah, it was time for the match, so we had to quiet down a bit and then enjoy the match with the people that attended the event. But yeah, this was towards the end of the game. We had done the halftime, we had conversations, but you can catch the highlights on our Instagram page once again. So this was the next morning. It was Sunday and we didn't really do much until it was evening, where we had to check out of the hotel we're currently staying, and we moved to a much better apartment in a different location in Ghana. It was a bit of a long drive, but we finally got to the Odoma apartment. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but this was the view from the apartment, and we basically called it a night, and before we knew it, it was the next morning. This day was a Monday, so we had to catch up on meetings and strategies and all of that. Then in the evening, we headed out to the Kwame Nkrumah Museum to check out the space. Sadly, we couldn't get in because we were not allowed to transfer and we didn't have enough cash for everybody. But we took some pictures at the reception with the Kwame Nkrumah car, and then we headed out to check the scenery, and then we went to our next location. On our way there, we spotted the Black Star Square, and it was such a beautiful space at night. Then we got to our location. This is Afrikiko. But yeah, we decided to skate, but many of us chickened out, so only 2 members of the team went on skating, and trust me, they fell a lot. So this was our team lead doing the grandpa walk when he was supposed to be skating, but like he said, he was just a beginner, so let's not judge him. So after this, we got dinner and then we called it a night, and before we knew it again, it was the next day. Like, the short day and short night in Ghana was real, man. But we had to be out because who would do the work if not us? So we went to Accra Mall to shoot a vox pop with the people that we met there. And then afterwards, it got dark really fast. And then we just had to go home because we couldn't do anything again. We had our beauty sleep and then we were back on the road again, but this time to the University of Ghana for the Paint Hall Week. You can catch the highlights once again on our Instagram. I hope you've gone to watch the previous ones, so go and watch this one again. But yeah, we basically shot some content with the students, asked them some questions, and then it was time to head out to our next location, which was the Independence Square. We saw the Black Star, took some pictures, recorded some content, and then of course we had to end the day in the Ghana way. We went to eat some banku. I personally did not try it because I was scared, so I had rice. But the guys enjoyed it and they had good things to say about it. So afterwards, we went home, and the next morning we were out again, but this time it was the Achimota Forest. We went to visit the zoo, the Accra Zoo, and our Ghana manager was basically telling me to manage the fact that the A from the Accra sign had removed. But yeah, we waited for our tour guide and then we got started on our adventure in the Achimota Forest. We saw several animals, nothing we had not seen before except like this zebra. But yeah, we had higher expectations, but they said, they had some of the animals had passed and some of them had to be taken away and all of that, which was understandable. But compared to the Ibadan zoo that we have in Nigeria, we're like okay. But yeah, we saw these tortoises mating, and then we learned that they usually mate for an hour, which was crazy, and the sound that those animals were making was very funny, so we did spend some time to watch them there. But yeah, this was, I can't remember the name of this animal, but this was something. Then this tortoise was separated for a reason I can't remember, and then she came up to us. I think she was the oldest tortoise there. She was like 100 years old and all. But yeah, these clips are going by fast. We saw crocodiles, several kinds of birds, peacocks, parrots, and the likes. But I think this was the last thing we saw, and then we called it a day. There was this beautiful swing there, so we took some pictures and we headed to our next location, which was Laboma Beach Resort. If you know me, you know I love the beach. Like throughout this trip, I was just saying, we must visit the beach, we must visit the beach, we must visit the beach. So I was glad that we finally visited the beach, and we couldn't stay for long because it was already late. So we just, took in the scenery, watched the sunsets, and then took some pictures as well. And then we headed to eat some suya that we saw on our way there, still at the beach. It was really nice. And then we got ice cream and some snacks and just chilled for the night because we were leaving the next day. And this was when we got to the Kotoka International Airport. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, we just went through the old boring boarding process and all of that. And in no time, we were heading to the plane. And we were just checking out the scenery one more time before leaving. And that's nuts. But yeah, Emmanuel was also in front. And next thing we're on the plane. And of course, the view from above was beautiful as usual. Like, the camera was not doing justice. But yeah, the next 45 minutes went by quickly, and before we knew it, we were back in the fatherland. And we just said our goodbyes to one another, and everyone went to their respective home. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for all our Ghana content.